Good evening, everybody. It's Chuck, aka Malik, and I'm just going to make just a real quick video here, 6-7 minutes here, uh, on something I've been following for the past couple of days, really. I heard about it a while ago, but just got some information on it, some white papers put out by Kaspersky. We all know who Kaspersky is, one of the biggest AVs out there. They have finally released some information on what they deem the unhackable OS. It is a Kaspersky OS. Now, don't look at this by the title that we're going to be looking at something replacing Windows or replacing the Mac OS. Not the same thing here. We're going to get into some details here on what they have. So first off, what is it? Well, of course, it's Kaspersky's own secure operating system. And by reading the papers by Kaspersky and how they built this thing, they do deem this thing unhackable. Really, what it is a protected layer 3 switch that is running the Kaspersky OS. Now, for all you guys in networking, or for those of you who aren't in networking, if you don't understand what a layer 3 switch is, it just works on the third layer of the OSI model. But a layer 3 switch is very vastly different from a layer 2 switch. Layer 2 switches have to take the frames that come into the switch, pass it to a router for a forwarding decision, and then the frame comes back to the switch again, in which case the switch will forward it. Well, layer 3 switches can do that themselves. They do not need the router. So in essence, it's a layer 3 switch can perform all the functionality of traditional routers. Very good layer 3 switches can perform almost all functions of a router. So it has very low network latency. We don't need those 3 hops. We don't have to go switch, router, switch. We can go to the switch directly to the destination. It also has hardware-based packet forwarding. It runs quality of service. Of course, it is incredibly scalable and it maintains a high speed and very high performance on layer 3 switches. So it's a great switch to throw this OS on. They run it off what they call the microkernel architecture. It is totally customizable. It controls the behavior of every single app. And according to Kaspersky, the way, if you want it to hack this thing, the only way to hack it is to break the digital signature that's on it. And we all know, if you're into ethical hacking, breaking a digital signature is very, very difficult. Breaking it may not be as difficult as breaking it and not being detected that it's been broken. Because, as we all know, any digital signature that throws any abnormality immediately sends out a signal that has been compromised. So, and this digital signature, they won't go into detail, but according to how this digital signature is made, they say to break this digital signature, it is virtually impossible without the use of a quantum computer. So we're talking something really huge here. They also built this thing from scratch. They did not start off with Linux or Unix or anything. They didn't start out with any lines of code that were pre-written. Everything started from the ground up. So this is an entirely new OS, unseen by anyone. Okay. Now, they did mention in some of their white papers that they have been working on this for 14 years. I mean, this was way before Stuxnet, way before any major cyber attack that we can think of. at least to the degree that we see now. We all know about the one that just happened recently with the DNS servers on the East Coast being hit. I mean, that took down the entire internet. I mean, we lost Google, we lost Amazon. Excuse me, we lost some pretty key players. These companies have DDoS protection in place. If you tried to attack them directly, you wouldn't get in. So they said, well, let's not attack them. Let's just attack the ones that get you to them, which took them out. Which is why this thing was built. It was not built really to protect the small enterprise. This was built to protect the Internet of Things and extremely critical infrastructures. We're talking industry, SCADA, transport, telecom, very large scale things. So we're talking about our power grids. This is what this is to protect. Now, it's not surprising that there's no GUI interface. If you've dealt with layer 3 switches, they're command driven. So nothing to worry about there. Just a couple of pictures I have here, really two of them. One of the machine itself and one of it booting up. Nothing fancy on this thing. We have the RS-232 port, the console port. We have our link port. We have our scan ports. We do have a USB port here, and of course our switch ports. They do have a card reader. A little zoomed in view there, and of course it booting up into the Kaspersky OS. And you can see it hooked right into the VGA port. So this is something that's worth keeping an eye on. That we may see out there. That there's still a lot that they haven't released. There's no price floating around as to how much this thing's going to cost. I mean, if you guys have seen layer 3 Cisco switches, I mean, we can pretty much expect this thing to be a huge chunk of change. But to protect a very large set of machines, a large enterprise, this may be the way we want to go. So just some new hardware out there that's on the horizon, and a new OS. This is something that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. Something completely new coming out. So it's worth keeping an eye on. So keep your eye on this. It may be something very interesting. I've always liked Kaspersky. They may be onto something here that we as security engineers so desperately need. So anyway, just wanted to run that by you. Just a little bit of information that you may not have stumbled across, and I want to be the first one to share it with you. So other than that, you guys have a great night. Again, if there's anything out there you want to see, let me know. If you like the videos, give them a little thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting a whole lot more here coming up. I do have some hack the site challenges that some people have asked me to get back on again. I haven't been able to post one the past couple of days, but we're in our realistic missions now, and somebody needs some help on a couple, so I should be posting those shortly. But let me know if there's anything you want to see. I'll be glad to post it for you. But until then, you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.